it's Lauren with Bark and Bead Box, and today we're gonna make a super fun ribbon choker that can also be worn as like a headpiece if you want. I really wanted to do something kind of magical, almost fantasy inspired with this collection. It's super easy to make, and I'm excited to show it to you. I hope you enjoy this design. So to start out, from the box, we are using our filigree style links, the little like oval ones. We are going to be using one of our Lapis Teardrops, and we are going to be using our 3.5 millimeter Labradorite rounds, and these are the ones I had open from my other project. So they're not neatly in a bag, but that's what we're using. The things that I am using that are not in the box are some basic findings. I've got some jump rings. I'm going to try this size. It's ring 134 at beadboxbargains.com. And if it doesn't work and I don't love it, I also have the ring 124 mix, which has a variety of sizes in it. But we will need, I think, 8 jump rings. I'm going to be using one of these Find 2520 ice pick bales for my Lapis Teardrop. And then if you want to cut the ribbon and make it a certain length choker instead of having the ends long, and I'll show you how to do that if you want to. I'm going to be using Space 1046. These are ribbon end clamps that will help us finish off the ribbon. I also have, so I've got this simple blue satin ribbon. It's a 9 millimeters width, I believe, yeah, or 3/8 of an inch. And this is what I'm going to be weaving into my links, and it's going to be the base of our piece today. So I'm going to cut probably about 3 feet to start, just so if you want to keep it with long ends, so you can tie it and like have a little bow at the back of your choker, or use it as a headpiece if you want to keep your options open. You'll want a good length. If you're just going to make a choker, you don't need as much. If you're going to add a clasp to it and have it only be a choker, then you probably only need like 14 inches, 15, 16 if you want a little bit extra to work with. It's not going to need to be very long if that's what you would like to do. So anyway, I wanted to show you the ribbon that I'm using. And I also have some Eslon Fire. This is just a braided infused monofilament. You can use regular monofilament as well. I wanted something clear, and I like how flexible this is. I think it ties a little more neatly than regular monofilament. I tried this with beading thread. Do not recommend it. I like the monofilament a lot better because the thread ends tend to fray when you knot them and show up behind the links. So you'll see what I mean in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I have 9 links here, and I used one in my other design, but you need an odd number for this anyway. And the first thing I'm going to do to prepare them is I am just going to add a little Labradorite round right in the middle of each of them. So I'm going to take some off. I think that's probably too many, but I want to make them sort of matchy, so they don't have to match exactly. And this is so simple. I'm literally just going to cut a little bit of my cord here, and I am just going to take the end. Wow, I cut a lot more than I needed. My bad. And I'm going to put on that little round bead, the little Labradorite, and now I'm going to take my link, and you see these little like curly Q, almost looks like a C and a backward C on either side of that center hole. I'm just going to take my thread and string it through either side of that. String each end through one of those little oval holes and pull it through. And you can also wire wrap this if you prefer. I'm using a cord because that's what I have here, and I'm very confident with it. and to me it's easier just to knot it and cut it off, but you do whatever you like. So I am going to tie a square knot here. So I'm going to take my left strand and I'm going to go over and around the right strand and pull that really, really tight. So we want that labradorite to be pulled tight so it just kind of sits naturally right in that little center hole. And now I'm going to do the right strand over and around the left and finish that square knot. And again, just pull it really tight. And then all I'm going to do is trim the ends. So it's literally so easy. You just have to tie a little knot around each of these, cut the tails off, boom, done. So this is a great place. I'm going to do that 8 more times. I'm just going to tie a little square knot, just do it around each one of these. It takes a second. This is a great place to pause it, put some music on, do that 8 more times, and then we'll be ready to go on to our next step. It's very repetitive, but it's so simple. This is such an easy to make project, and it looks so fancy when it's done. So let's get tying. All right, so here we go. We've got all of our links finished here. I really love how they look with that labradorite in the middle. It just adds a little bit of fanciness. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to start stringing them on. So I'm going to kind of fold the tip in half to make it easier, and we want it to show up behind the ribbon. So I'm going to go down through the front towards the back. So as I drop it, we'll try that one more time. We're going to go from the front to the back on this side, on the left side of the link, and then I'm going to come up back to front on the right side. There we go. So I'm just going to pull it through like that, and I'm going to pull it kind of to the middle of my ribbon, which I've probably cut a little too long here, but I'd rather have it too long than not long enough, and I'll trim it up when I'm done. A little more, I think. All right, and I'm going to try to make the shiny side face out both directions. There we go. Okay, so now it's time for the next piece. I'm going to do one on each side. I'll start with here. Again, I'm going front to back through the left end of the link and back to front through the right end. So you can see like that, so that the ribbon stays behind the link and we get to see that beautiful labradorite. All right, so here we go. Oh, did I do that? Yep, I did that backwards. Look at that. So do make sure that you're being consistent about which way the ribbon is facing. Hold on. Here we go. It just got flipped around because it got twisted. So I didn't even have to restring it. I just had to untwist that ribbon here and thread it back through kind of carefully so it doesn't twist around. So I don't want it to pull out the links and make them twist either. There we go. All right, now to keep them in place, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to attach a jump ring right here just to hold the links in place so they don't wander around the ribbon. And I'm going to use about as small a jump ring as I can get away with. So I'll see if this little 4mm one will fit. And if not, I'll grab some from my mix here. So I think I'm going to use the 2-plier method for this. And you're not going to see it behind the ribbon too much. So I'm not going to bother with any, being super gentle with it. I'm going to use my chain nose pliers because they give me the best grip. And it might mar the finish just a little bit, but like I said, these are going to be invisible in the final design. So I'm going to open my jump ring here. I'm going to see if this is big enough to slip on both of these links. And yeah, actually, I think that's going to work very nicely. And we'll find out Moment of truth is my attempt to close it. All right. There we go. And then, as you can see, the ribbon hides it from the front. So it's just, but it'll hold them in place, but you won't see it from the front of the choker. So I think that's going to work really well. I'm excited. Alrighty, let's do the next one. All right. So again, I'm going to go front to back on the left. And twist it around, make sure it's kind of going the right direction here. There we go. And then back to front, back through here. Your ribbon tip will probably get a little frayed, but that's fine. We will trim it and finish it nicely when we are done. All right, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the jump ring. Honestly, I'm going to do the same thing about 7 more times. Or, yep, 6 after this, I suppose. Just open that up. Again, I find it easiest to kind of line the holes up like this. String that through both holes there. Grab those ends and close it. I've never really worked with ribbon that much before, but I had a lot of fun making this piece. So if that's something that's, you may be better working with ribbon than I am. If you know any tips or tricks, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm always looking to learn. And yeah, I'm going to do one on this side now, kind of even things out a little bit. Again, we'll go front to back through that left loop. Question myself for a second there, but no, that's still correct on the other side of the piece too. And now back to front through the right loop. It's looking so pretty, and you could totally use this as like a headband too. Just straighten that ribbon out a little bit. Not just like a headpiece. You could leave off the center pendant and just tie it around as a headband. There's so many things you could do with this. I think it's just such a fun and, again, sort of a light fantasy inspired type design. All right. And the ribbon is just really fun to work with. There we are. Open that up really well, and we'll see if we can get it through both of these. Oh, goodness. There we are. Maybe. Sort of, kind of. Almost. I think I opened this one a little too far. I may just... yeah, I think I can get it. Maybe. Possibly. There we are. See if it'll cooperate. I do think the jump rings work very nicely to hold everything kind of in place. Make sure it doesn't move around too much. I really did open that too far. But I think I can fix it. That's good. There we are. And I love how the ribbon just kind of hides the jump ring. It looks so nice. Such a fun pattern. All right. Next. And there's a lot of ways you can decorate this. If you wanted to, you could absolutely do dangles like at the bottom of each of these links. I'm probably going to leave it a little bit simple, but you can absolutely make it your own and add anything that you like. You could add more beads to the links if you wanted to. Okay, I got my ribbon a little twisted here. Let me try to untwist it. All right, that's better. All right, flip that over again, and we'll attach it with a jump ring. I really love the labradorite with the copper and the blue ribbon. It's just so pretty. And again, it feels sort of magic to me. Little tiny flashes of color. Come on. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have lined them up better. Blocking my jump ring with my ribbon. Here we go. That's more like it. These jump rings are a very tight fit. I want them to be small because I don't want them to push the ribbon out too much or look too weird or while you're wearing it, like make big lumps. But it does make it a little more difficult to close, but I think it is worth it. Play with it a little more. There we go. And like I said, you're not going to see them in the actual design. Your pieces will just stay together like a magic. So yeah, that's pretty fun. All right, I'm going to do a couple more on this side now. Again, front to back on the left, back to front on the right. Oh goodness. My car decided it did not want to start. Turns out it was just the battery and not another like rodent infestation like we had in the spring. So, but I definitely had like an oh no moment. But it is all fixed now. I am grateful for that. Oh, it just seems like it always happens on a day when it's the least convenient. But is what it is sometimes. Okay. And I'm very thankful that a new battery fixed it. Okay. Put these together. I love the dark blues in this box too. They felt very fitting for September. As a September baby myself, Sapphire Birthstone has always been pretty close to my heart. So getting to play with the deep, gorgeous blues makes me very happy. All right, it's got a little flipped around, trying to see which way it got twisted. Under like that. I'm gonna try to untwist that. There we go. Just because the less twisted the ribbon is, the less the links will want to twist. We do not want them to just twist around. We want them to lay nicely. So there we go. So pretty. I'm actually very happy with that. Gonna do another one on this side. Oh, and I cannot believe it's October already. October is one of my favorite months, though growing up I always felt like September had to be my favorite because that's when my birthday is. Felt disloyal to have any other favorites. So don't tell September, but I love October. All the trees really start to get dramatic, at least around here. It starts to feel like really fall. Usually in September we have like false fall. We'll have like 1 week where it's perfect and beautiful and everything I ever wanted. And then it goes back to being 80, 90 degrees for several more weeks here in Tennessee. But we are getting close to actually for real having that crisp morning air. We did a little cookout last night and made s'mores, cooked hot dogs over a little campfire. Lynn was very excited. She loves nothing more than roasting marshmallows. So it's a good time of year. do. Here we go. Anyway, I am excited that it's October and very much looking forward to fall. I mean, it is fall, technically. I'm looking forward to it actually feeling like fall on a daily basis. My husband is a huge pumpkin spice fanatic, so this is one of his favorite times of year too. Everything pumpkin spice. He'll eat pumpkin spice Cheerios, pumpkin spice bread, pumpkin spice. Gosh, I'm trying to think what the weirdest thing is. Of course, coffee creamer, but that's not weird. I think I got him a like pumpkin spice. Goodness, what was it? Was it like animal crackers or something once? And I was not. I think maybe graham crackers. I don't know. I wasn't, because that actually sounds good. It was something weird where I was just like, I don't know. This might be too far for me, but it's never for him. Oh, I remember. It was sparkling water. We drink so many sparkling waters at our house, and they had a pumpkin spice sparkling water, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't think I want my water to taste like pumpkin spice. Lemon, sure. Strawberry, okay. Pumpkin spice, too. That was a bit too far for me. But he drank them. He liked them, or at least he said he liked them, and I did not. I was not a fan. Now the caramel apple sparkling waters, those I did like. Those were good. But the pumpkin spice water, that was too far for me. But nothing. I don't think there's a pumpkin spice product on the market that he wouldn't try. All right. So which side? I guess I'll do one more. I'm trying to decide which one of these I want to be my center. That one, I'm starting to wish I'd used a little bit less opaque one there, because it doesn't really match quite exactly the rest, but that's okay. I will, I think, do one more on this side. And again, we get the shiny side up, and we go front to back. And then we pull it back to front through the right hole. All right, and that's our last link in the chain. Now we just have to attach it. Again, I'm trying to untwist this ribbon here a little. There we go. All right, and last jump ring. Get my other pliers here. Let's open it up. There we go. Stick it through the reverse little hole in both of those links. Join them together. And we are done with this section anyway. All right, so now you have 9 links, and I am going to hang a Lapis Teardrop from the center link, from, again, that bottom C-shaped hole in the center link. So I'm going to grab one of these, hang it right there. It's very delicate, and I love it. All right, so I'm going to take one of these fine 2520 little bales here. And I think this one is actually already open far enough. Try to line it up and squeeze it shut. There. And I am going to cut the top bit off. I thought I had my wire cutters here, but apparently I do not. One moment. Okay, so I've got my little wire cutters here. And I am just gonna cut off this top bale part down at its thinnest bit. If I could get my pliers in there. While also trying not to damage the loop. So, wish me luck. There we go. Just because I just need to hook this loop directly into my center link. I'm maybe going to use a slightly bigger jump ring for that because I want it to have a lot of movement. So maybe the 5mm or 6mm, we'll see. But I want it to swing pretty freely, so we're going to use a slightly larger size. All right, give this a try, see how it looks. Alright, so I'm just going to slip this through the lower hole of my center link here. Assuming I have opened it wide enough to do so, which I have maybe not. There we go. Yeah, I think that size will work. I think the 5mm will work nicely here. And we will just gently close it up. And there we have it. Okay, so you've got your center link. You can, if you want, add more dangles to the other links. I am going to leave it, I think, just with the lapis pendant on it because I think it's just such a statement piece and very elegant. So there's a couple ways you can finish this. You can just leave it on the ribbon and leave the ribbon ends long. If you are going to do that, it will work as either, like you can tie it around your head as a circlet, or you can tie it around your neck as a choker, whichever you prefer. I'm going to leave this one with the long ends because I do want that option. And so I'm just going to trim off the frayed ends of the ribbon here. Maybe I should have used fabric scissors. And then you could try heat sealing, but I really don't trust myself with open flame in the studio. So I'm just going to try just a little bit of clear nail polish. Brush gently over the ends. And you can get anti-fraying sprays that are specifically made for this. I'm just going to brush on a little bit of clear nail polish to help stop that end from fraying. I'll do that on the other side too. I'm going to trim it down. Again, I am not an expert on working with ribbons, so if you have any tips, please let me know in the comments. I'm just going to brush a little bit of clear nail polish over these ends so that they don't come apart. Hopefully, is the plan. But I did want to show you. That if you want to trim it down and add a clasp, here is what I would do. So I'm just going to grab the end of my spool, but I will demonstrate. So you've got these little Space 1046 ribbon clamps, right? And the first thing I'm going to do actually is, let me see if these scissors do a little better with the ribbon. Yeah, they definitely do. I should have used them on the other ribbon. Oh well. And I am also, to try to help it not fray, I'll brush a little bit of nail polish on this as well. Give that just a second here to set. So what we're going to be doing, and you can put a drop of glue on like a fabric glue or something on your crimp if you want. I'm just kind of folding it up, putting the ends inside the crimp. Get my pliers over here, and one at a time I'm going to fold down the sides over the ribbon ends and catch my fingernail, but that's okay. Alright, so there's one end, or one side rather, of the crimp, and two ends. I missed a little string there, but that's okay. If I let my nail polish dry first. That probably would have worked better. I'm just going to trim it off. Okay, so and now you've got a nice finished end you can attach to your clasp. And you can use any kind of clasp you like, but for chokers, I like to use magnetic clasps just because, and the kind that don't have any kind of extra notches or anything, just because that way if they catch on something, it doesn't pull at my neck, it just pulls it off. I like that better. But I will say that if I was going to sell it at like a show or something, probably what I would do is have a lobster claw and extender chain, since everyone's neck is a little different length, and that way they can find what's comfortable for them. But personally, if I was making it for me, I would just cut it down to the exact length I want it, and then use a magnetic clasp to put it on. So that is an option if you want your piece to just end with the clasp and only be a choker and not have the long ends. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you. All right, so that is how I made my choker slash headpiece. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this design. I will make something with my labradorite pendant eventually. I'm just having a lot of fun playing around with the little lapis drops. And I had a lot of fun creating this piece and almost knocking my nail polish on the floor. Okay, I'm gonna close that up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thanks for being here. If you are a Bargain Bead Box member, then you've got the September box and all of its contents for $22.99. If you are not a member, we still have a few extra September boxes at our sister store, beadboxbargains.com, at $32.99. So you do save quite a bit on that by being a member. Also, if you'd like to join us, you can get future boxes starting with October's if you sign up by October 9th for that $22.99 price point. So thank you so much to all of our members who make this channel possible. Thank you so much to all of our viewers for hanging out and watching. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, happy beading.